Yes.
And I I had this desire of wanting to do my own thing without having to be told every single
Okay.
time what to do, what not to do. It's just like, dang, I can't do shit. And so my mind is always was
Meanwhile, she's
more
8 years old.
no, I know. My mind is always like, well, how can I do something without having to ask permission? And I was always the type, ask for forgiveness rather than permission. That was my motto, I think, since I was born.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
would always get in trouble because of that. But again,
Especially growing up in an immigrant household. They look at you
child,
like you're crazy. Like, oh, I'm
that
sorry.
was a problem. Yeah,
Yes, you were.
that was a problem. And I was a latchkey kid. I'm like, you ain't even here until like 6.
Wow.
This is
Wow.
my world up until then.
Wow.
Crazy, crazy. But yeah, the point is that you can develop this if you feel like you don't have that, or you recognize that you lack the intuition to read the room. Then that is your cue to start working on that and practicing that as you're interacting with others. It's as you're interacting with the different modalities out there, like social media, the TV and all of that. It's just start practicing that emotional intelligence.
Yes. And sometimes you have to delete the apps for a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to delete your account, but so that you're not enticed or
Mhm.
tempted to open them up and spend hours looking at all these things of how you should live your life and all this fake
Yes.
shit,
Yeah.
and be distracted from your real purpose. And if you want to enhance your emotional intelligence, then part of it is observation, getting out of your mind, right?
Mhm.
Being
Mhm.
aware of what's around you, but at the same time, like, yes, picking up on how you feel in certain rooms in terms of energy, looking at people, and just like, I don't know, it's very
And
natural for me, but it's so
yeah, but
but
also stop chasing every argument. You know those type of
yes, just
people who feel
listen.
like they just have to argue? I know,
Yes.
because I could be that person.
Now she's like, that person. Yes, that person is me. I am that person. No, but Nachi, good for you for recognizing that. I didn't want to call you out on that because then I knew you would have felt away like, oh my god, you think you know everything, blah blah blah. You think you have a high EQ, blah. Yeah, I do, but my high EQ told me don't say anything.
Right.
She's not
Read the
prepared.
room, read the room.
I already knew before we started recording. You had a mood about you, and I'm like, oh, what's wrong? You're like nothing. Fine, everything's the same. Okay, all right, we'll play this game. Like I don't know you. Like we're not 4 decades in this, bitch. Stop
Oh
playing with
my
me.
gosh.
But okay, we'll play your game because sometimes my sister's not ready for me to give her the raw uncut, and
Wow.
but I recognize that that's the whole point. It's like
Yeah,
okay, I
yeah.
pull back. The
Yeah,
times I'm like,
because
ooh,
no, that's
I get
true.
it.
Yeah. And when you stop chasing every argument,
Yes,
um you start to hear what's really being said,
yes.
right? And not reacting or judging or having to what's you're listening to understand versus listening
Respond.
to respond.
Yeah.
So people need to start practicing that more. I'm doing it. That's something that I continue to practice because yes, sometimes I listen so that I can respond like, okay, you said this, I'm gonna
You're
come
like
back with this one.
you're like 3 bullet points for that one statement. Meanwhile, it's like please listen to the rest of what they have to say. Yes, but
So
that is how you become dysregulated, right? Like, and that's
mhm,
exactly it, Nachi.
mhm.
It's just like stop listening to respond,
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to understand, but also have your boundaries in place. And like, if things just don't work, it don't work. And one of the other things that really helps me in terms of regulating my emotions is breathing exercises.
That's good. Mhm.
When and they say it everywhere. I mean, yes, there are various breathing techniques, and we have a breathwork episode that you guys should absolutely listen to. I need to
Hmm.
write down the episode. We have episode numbers, but I don't know. Do a
We'll put it
search.
in the notes. We'll
Yeah,
put it in the notes.
I'm like, do a search. Not she's nice. She's like, we'll put it in the notes. Thank you, sister. Oh my God, we're about to lose listeners because I'm like, I don't know. Look for it.
Just
No,
search. Like,
but
girl.
the breathing, but just very basic, simple breathing exercises of like inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, holding your breath. Nachi and I will do that with each other if we're feeling a certain way, right? Nachi, like,
Hmm.
okay,
No, it's
it's deep.
true.
We'll be on the phone, and if one of us is going through whatever, it's like, okay, pause, let's
Right.
breathe.
Right.
And and breathing it is a form of detoxification, not just simply because it's mental detoxification, but actually physically, your body goes through physiological
Hmm.
changes when
Hmm.
you do deep breath exercises, and actually does release toxins, which is insane. And it's just something that people don't do enough of. So definitely practice deep breathing. Like, that is huge. It'll save you on therapy. Yeah. But also
Yeah.
do therapy if it works for you. I encourage it for anybody that feels compelled to do it. I know for me, it's not something that I've done, not because I think it's bad. I think because my sister's my therapist, and then I'm my own therapist too.
Right.
And then I just follow my intuition and my spirit guides.
Yeah, because
So
not everything needs therapy, to be
yeah.
honest. And I remember seeing this one therapist talk about how people are overutilizing
Mm,
therapy because they're not things that are normal, like part of normal life. They're looking at it as if it's traumatic, as if they shouldn't experience certain things. Now, yes, if there's traumatic events, you definitely want to seek therapy for. But I'm saying this so that people don't always feel, and I'm glad that you shared that you don't typically go for therapy, but it's not always necessary.
right.
So but
What
you
do you do
shared
to
breathing,
Yes, what do you
but
do?
I learned this one grounding method.
Mm.
It's called 5 4 3 2 1 method, a grounding method. And basically when you're feeling dysregulated, to stop what you're doing and identify 5 things that you see. Then go to 4 different things that you can feel and touch, right? And then 3, then stop and listen and identify 3 things that you can hear. And then 2, identify 2 things that you can smell, and then stop and taste one thing, take something that you can taste.
Oh wow. So it's like using all of your
All of
senses,
your
the five
senses.
physical senses.
Yes, yes. So yeah, I like it too. And I think it's simple enough that you can do that whenever, wherever. I
Yes.
mean, if you
It
stop and
brings
you
you
feel
back to reality.
it
Like, it
does,
does ground you. Like, I can see why it would ground you.
right? Because you're taking those few seconds, that 1 minute, to really see what's around you, taking the time to feel and touch, being present, right? You're being present by feeling and touching and listening, and then taking that last step of tasting something, whatever that is, an apple, it's like anything,
Yes.
but you're literally going through that sense, like feeling, like
Yes.
tasting every bite of that. So that is I think, a great grounding method that you can use when you start to feel dysregulated.